What's going on YouTube? It's your boy again, Johnny Rastafari, and today we're going to be talking about Baahubali, Crown of Blood, Episode 3, Shattered Oath. Now this is my spoiler reaction review. So this takes place after Episode 2, where Baahubali was a prisoner. He was enslaved, trying to, disguise as a prisoner, try to liberate the people after a battle he had in episode 1. And the queen, she was upset that because she thought Baahubali was dead, so she exiled Kapita, which is a general, a field general who trained all the guards in the royal family. So she got all upset and exiled him. All that's from episode 2. And then this mercenary have found Kapita. I'm still learning his name. Indian names. It's hard for me to pronounce correctly, so I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. But I would get that eventually, I promise. But yeah, the mercenary came and took Kapita because he know that he was a warrior, because the mercenary want Kapita to work with him. So they throw him in the wolf pit. And so now this episode take place after that. So now in episode 3, Kapita and Baahubali fighting in the wolf pit. And like I predicted from episode 2, I had a feeling they was going to figure each out who is who. Because they were saying, you fight well. Who taught you how to fight? And Baahubali was like, I was trained by the best. And Kapita was like, well, he wasn't that good because you is fighting like a young guy trying to kill your person in one blow. And that's not wise. And, yada, yada, the banter. Long story short, they figure out who they was. And Baahubali had knock off Kapita mask. That's how he found out that he was Kapita. And then Kapita was still going on with the killing blow after Baahubali told him who he was. And Kapita didn't care. Kapita was like, I'm not taking orders from no one. Don't tell me not to attack because I'm going to attack. So Kapita had knocked out Baahubali. And they wanted Kapita to kill Baahubali, but he said that he can't kill an unarmed man. So that was kind of fishy. But Kapita is still going on with this, he against the royal family, he want everyone dead. I don't know if he's for real or he just making an act because he's trying to get close to this mercenary group. But if you watch the Baahubali movie, the beginning and the conclusion, you know how Baahubali and Kapita's story eventually ended. But anyways, Baahubali after he got knocked out, he went back into prison. But before he went into prison, he had grabbed a shard from the sword, because he know they was going to lock him back up in cuffs. So they take him into his cage. And as you know, these wise war heroes, warriors, he break himself out of his shackles, but act like he was still locked up. So when the drunken guard came to take him out to beat him or whatever, he was already free. So he knocked that guard out, and then he freed all the other slaves. But this time was different from this episode, from episode 2. They actually escaped. They actually got away this time. They killed all the guards that was patrolling that area that the prisoners was in, and they went and they broke free. So they went back to the homeland, the palace, and they trying to get through the front gate, but then the soldiers wouldn't let them through. And the slaves was like, I thought y'all palace is open to anyone who need refuge, but they on high alert because the queen mother, she's still thinking Baahubali is dead. So, and then she just exiled Kapita, which is the commanding general. So they on high alert. They pissed. They think that they defenseless. They crowning star prince is dead, and so she hurt. So now she got the guards up on alert. But anyways, when they finally broke through and was basically begging the prisoners, not the prisoners, the guards, the royal guards, let them in. And then they let the gate down and the queen came. And then here's this man all up in the robe like this, approaching on his Moses Like, is you gonna let us? You should let us free. Like, you said that your prisoner, your palace is open to anyone who seek refuge. Isn't that what you said? And then he looked up at her and said, Ma. And she immediately know who it was. And they was all happy. But the brother, the brother. I told you about the brother. The brother reminds me of Scar. And if you saw Baahubali, the conclusion, you know. You know. But the brother, apparently, he's jealous that Baahubali isn't dead and he's back. Because like I said, the throne is really to him because, well, he feel that the throne should be to him because he's the oldest. But like I say, royalty sometimes don't always goes who's the oldest. Sometimes it goes who is the wisest, who is more humble. Like, because that's how the Queen Mother is looking at it. Like, I'm not going to just give the throne to any one of y'all. I'm going to give it to the person that I think is rightful. And so the brother, the older brother, he don't want no competition. So he's jealous of Baahubali because he know their strength is about equal because, they're both blessed by the power of the gods. So they both got superhuman strength. But what separate them so much is that Baahubali is more humble. He's more patient. He's more loving. He's more good looking, and the people love him. And then the people love him. So, and then the older brother know that. And so he's jealous of that. But anyways, now they're back in the royal palace. Baahubali, they have their little console. And Baahubali is telling them like, yo, I want to go and I want to take some men that I want to pick. And then we're going to find these slavers' family and we're going to free their family because I promised them that I was going to find their family. And Baahubali, brother, father, like it get kind of confusing because Baahubali brother is really not his brother. Technically, it's his cousin, his first cousin. Because Baahubali father had died, but Baahubali, one that he called his mother, is not actually his mother, it's his auntie, but she raised him as his mother because Baahubali mother also died giving childbirth. So really, Baahubali auntie raised him, his nephew, and Baahubali cousin as both of them is her kids. That's how so really, that's his cousin, but we just gonna say brother. It's gonna get confusing. I'm sorry if I confuse y'all because it sounds confusing of me even explaining it. But if you watch the movie and if you watch this show, you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, he was like, yeah, I want to go free these slavers' family because I tell him I was going to do that. And as you know, Baahubali brother and Baahubali brother father was like, why do you want to hang around with these slaves so much? Like, if you want to be around slaves so much, I go find you someone and we go put a leash on them and they can be your pet. And I was like, oh my God. See, and this what separates Baahubali from everyone in this royal palace. Everyone in this royal palace look down upon everyone like they nothing, like they animals. And this supposed to be the most high, the promised land. And y'all acting like that? Oh my goodness. And even the Queen Mother, Baahubali look up her and say, Ma, like, what do you think? And Ma was like, I understand that you was with these slaves and you was with them for 6 months and you lived with them, you ate with them, you slept with them. But son, you was raised as a prince. You wasn't raised as a slave. So it's time for you to act like a prince and put Baahubali in a pickle. I think Baahubali is going to find a handful of men, and then my theory, I think Baahubali is going to find a handful of men, and he's going to leave the palace, and he's going to find those people, families. Because one thing about Baahubali, when he says something, he means it, and if he give you a promise, he's going to do it. That's just the type of guy he is. Now, after that, back to Kapata, he's working with the mercenaries still, and there was a battle against the royal palace men. And one man got away and passed a message. And the woman was like, how did they get across our defenses? And then she said, because they is run by a great leader, a general. And they passed them, and she passed him the scroll. And she opened the scroll, and it said Kapata. And she was to the floor. And Baahubali was wondering like why he met Capita in the pit, because he didn't know why he was fighting him in the pit like early in episode 3. And it comes to find out, he finally found out that Queen Mother exiled him. You remember I told y'all that she just get all upset and she don't think clearly when she get upset? And Baahubali basically said that exiling him was a wrong idea. You shouldn't have done that. And she was on some type stuff was like, we don't care. We made him. We give him his title and we can take it away. Now he's against us, and now he's a traitor, and we're gonna treat him as such. So yeah, and in the episode end with one guy survived from the royal palace, another guy survived, but Capita didn't kill him. Like I say, I think Capita is acting to be a part of the mercenary team because he want to go after the mercenary himself, because I think he feels that if he killed the guy that's in charge, it would give him the right to go back to the royal palace. But yeah, that's my thoughts on this episode. This was a good episode. I like this episode. This actually was one of the best ones since episode 1. It was a lot of the action, a lot of good action scenes, a nice battle scene. The story is picking up, is catching pace now, and I like it, man. I have to give this episode an 8.5 out of 10. But yeah, that's my thoughts, man. If you like this video, please like the video. Consider subscribing to the page, and yeah, I catch y'all on the next one, man. Episode 4. We on this journey. But yeah, let's go do it. And as I like to say, peace, one love, one heart, one mind. Rastafari. Baahubali is free. He no longer a slave.